There is a new movie coming out. No, I'm not talking about Endgame. I will be at Endgame, but nope, I'm not talking about that one. I am talking about a new short film, a supposed documentary on voter suppression in Georgia in 2018. A progressive activist has decided to make a short film. And of course, liberals everywhere are delighted. I'm sure it'll be nominated for, probably win an Academy Award even, because liberals love this sort of thing. It is amazing to me the mythology that Democrats are hanging on to in 2018 in Georgia. So many of the complaints of the Democrats about how voters were suppressed in overwhelmingly black counties in Georgia as proof that Brian Kemp stole the election are oblivious to the fact that it is local counties that actually run their elections. So if voters were suppressed in predominantly black counties by Democrats, well, it was the local Democratic counties that were doing it, not Brian Kemp. And yet they hand wave all of that away. I mean, you heard Stacey Abrams a week ago or so waving it all away with Hillary Clinton. How could she say the vote was suppressed when she got more votes in Georgia than Hillary Clinton? Oh, well, because 6 million people should be able to vote in Georgia. Well, 6 million people, no one ever has 100% of their voter rolls turn out, particularly in an off-year election. It's stupid, and yet Democrats are treating it as if it's a serious thing. And now they're going to have a myth-making movie come out because they're not really concerned about the truth. They're concerned about fundraising off mythology. We're seeing this with the Mueller report as well, which we will get into. The big news, though, out today, I think, is Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, and the like. They're all coming out for student loan forgiveness plans. They want to forgive anyone who has a student loan. You can stop paying your loan and the government will get rid of it for you, which is a policy that does not address the underlying problems. Now, listen, I have a personal interest in this, if we're honest about it. I had to fund my entire law school on student loans. And a small portion of my undergrad was that those I paid off a while back. But I still have one student loan. I've got another, I think, 13 years paying $475 a month. And another one I've got another year on for $320. And that one will be done in a year. And then I'll just be left with the $475 for another more than a decade. I haven't practiced law since 2006. And part of the reason that they're lasting so long is when I got out of law school, I was making $42,500 out of law school at a firm in Middle Georgia. And I could not afford the law school loan payments. In fact, when I was finally able to buy a house, my mortgage was less than my student loan payments. Up until 4 years ago, my mortgage was still less than my student loan payments. I got a lot of student loans, and I got the value from them. I went to college. I went to law school. And so I'm paying those debt obligations. And there are a lot of people who went to undergrad and they went to graduate school and they got student loans because they thought it would help them. And they got their degrees in puppetry arts where they learned to stick their hand up the backside of a puppet and make its mouth move. And they're in debt for like $100,000. Not necessarily responsible, but now they want a bailout. It is deeply popular with younger voters. The problem is that it doesn't fix the underlying issue. Universities and colleges in this country have seen costs escalate well above the rate of inflation. And they're not adding new courses. They're not adding new professors. They're not giving huge pay raises to existing professors. They're hiring new administrators and new staff. They're tacking on fees. I mean, look at the university system in Georgia. They're raising tuition. They did not raise tuition last year, but they raised fees last year. They're raising fees again this year. Increasingly, the fees are the expensive part of school. You know, I mean, tuition is ridiculously expensive, but a lot of universities, they're freezing tuition and they're jacking up fees every year, so you're still paying more every year. And if you bail out people who have student loans, that doesn't fix the problem. It only provides universities more incentive to jack up costs. It only provides colleges more incentive to add more bureaucrats.